Here we go then in this English Super Welterweight title eliminator between Bilal Fawaz in the white trunks with the gold trim and Ryan Amos in the checkerboard green and orange outfit there. This is a great fight, Adam. Both are former area champions. Bilal is Fawaz, I should say, is a former Southern Area middleweight champion. Amos, a former Midlands champion. Both with winning records. Both on the wrong side of 30, to be blunt, so they need to make something happen here.
Yeah, Steve Goodwin was saying in the week, Bilal needs to move quickly now. He's absolutely right. I'll tell you what, though, the focus on that man's eyes as they were in their corners prior to the referee waving them in for his final instructions was something. And his one-man ring walk was also fairly intimidating. Bilal Fawaz, we've seen him before, of course. He's always looked classy. He's got that amateur pedigree that people so often go on about, but I think with Fawaz it's so evident.
Absolutely. I really enjoyed watching him fight. Paul uses a really unorthodox style. Fawaz, this high guard, like a boxer of yesteryear, almost like you see in black and white. But he, as you say, just looks so focused. He is huge for the weight, I have to say. Markedly bigger than his opponent, Amos, in height and in reach. But
I mean, Amos looks pretty... it's not exactly...
Not a shrinking violet.
No. And I love the shorts, as you mentioned.
Great.
Checkerboard.
Great fun. Both fighters looking good so far. It's been an aggressive opening round. Not a huge amount effective landed. Fawaz trying to work that long jab and a clubbing overhand right.
Nice overhand right there from Fawaz.
Ryan Amos. Adam, would you believe me if I told you he was known as the Punisher?
Well...
Fawaz,
ask me in 10 seconds.
Yeah, Fawaz looking a bit nonplussed by those shots, but I'm sure he felt them. Oh, good work from Amos in the inside
and working
there.
away to the midriff of Fawaz there from Amos.
Great shots.
Then some in return from Bilal Fawaz.
Fawaz standing very close to his opponent, and he's definitely got the longer reach, got big arms.
Yeah, and he can, as we know, he can dance around, he can put his shots together when he's got the opportunity for but Amos I don't know so well, obviously, with him being a
Midlands fighter.
Midlands fighter. Oh, lovely counter left, sorry.
He's looked sharp so far though, Adam. He looks like he's quick, he looks like he knows what he's doing and not overawed by inside work, happy to work in the kitchen.
Oh, this
not a problem.
This is certainly a very evenly matched fight in this first round. Very difficult one to score, Matt.
Although as I'm seeing from our notes in this fight, some judges have said they do fancy Amos, and watching this first round, I believe them. Quick minute here at the start of round two. Fawaz's gloves just need a little bit of tape, and I think we'll be ready to go.
Yeah, just being sent into neutral corners and then waved back in. Second round underway. Very hard first round to score, in my opinion.
Yeah, I gave it to Amos because I just thought he was a little bit more industrious, and I liked that inside work that he did. I felt that Fawaz maybe used that first round as a bit of a download, trying to just suss out his opponent. You can see him peeking out through that high guard, just looking for openings, looking for where he can land shots.
Yeah, I think it's always interesting when you see these guys that like mix up their style. Where their guard is kind of tells you how they're feeling about their attack. If that makes sense. I think Fawaz at the moment, like, you don't often see him with that high, tucked together, elbows tucked together guard. A lovely slashing right uppercut there from Fawaz. It missed. Good body shot. But you don't often see him with that guard, and it's these hooks around the side from Amos that I think are making him think twice about where to keep his hands when he's not throwing them.
Lovely body shot from him as well. I really struggle to believe that Fawaz is a welterweight. Looking at this, I know we're sitting down beneath them here, but he just looks an absolute mountain of a man. Amos, a more orthodox style than Fawaz, and he's definitely the aggressor. But Fawaz not overawed at all. That kind of stone cold look that he has. As Amos tries to do work on the inside, Fawaz just throws him off. And Amos felt the power of that overhand right, Adam. That straight right that Fawaz just threw down the pipe, backed him up.
I mean, both guys only have one loss on the ledger. Obviously, Amos has had 7 or so more fights than Fawaz, but you know, Fawaz has had plenty of experience.
Absolutely.
In the amateurs, and he's just, for me, I know this is based off of, you know, having seen Fawaz. He's got so much in the locker.
Absolutely.
That I just think that if he's given the opportunity to use that variety, that intelligence, I think this could be.
I love this, but he's just
that's in his face. Oh, that was a lovely right hand to the body.
Fawaz just hanging his chin out to bait Amos in, but Amos, to his credit, has just whipped in a beautiful body shot. He's not taking the bait. He's looks maybe a bit too long in the tooth to fall for those kind of tricks. But Fawaz, as you said, Adam, that's what I love about him. He's just got so much to give. He can change his style. He can change his approach. Oh, a good right hand there.
Needs to not do that, because exactly that. Amos returns with a lovely front foot jab that had plenty behind it, and another one lands.
Yeah, you can't stand and admire your work, not at this level. Both fighters angling for a shot against the current Super Welterweight English champion, Samuel Antwi, sitting at 17 wins and 2 losses. It'll be a hell of a fight for either of these men. Much more, well, the first round was close, this round also close. Round 3 begins of this English Super Welterweight title eliminator. We've got Bilal Fawaz with that high guard starting again just in the center of the ring, and Ryan Amos with the long dreadlock hair just down his back in the checkerboard.
He's looked solid, robust, sharp, but somewhat more, what's the word, stiff than Fawaz.
Good
Amos,
jab.
not necessarily a criticism. It's again, he beats Fawaz to the punch there. Amos, I found these very, very hard rounds to score. I think I agree with you. I'd give the first to Ryan Amos.
Do you know, I've just noticed the soles of Amos's boots are the same colour as his shorts. Love that. I just think Fawaz just sort of waiting for a shot, kind of adopting a bit of a counter-punching style, which has worked several times. Big
that was clever.
landed.
Pours that right hand forward, then launches into a left. Tries to showboat, which personally I think is a bit too early to be doing that. But
no, I think he's such a scary guy. If it were me, if it was it Ricky Hatton said about Mike Tyson, if I found him in bed with my wife, I'd tuck him in.
He's a handsome chap for us, but he's also terrifying.
Yeah, I mean,
like not that I'd want to, you know.
I'm sure
annoy either of these two warriors.
I'm sure they're both lovely chaps, but yeah, they don't look like they're here to mess about. Big shots landed by Fawaz this fight, and especially this round.
So much riding on this 10-round fight, and it can all fly by so quickly.
Absolutely.
Good right hand, jab right hand from Fawaz. Keeps his guard low again. Closes the ring off beautifully there.
Absolutely. Just maintaining his distance with that jab. He's going to unleash this right hand in a second.
Watch his feet when he gets Amos near a corner. It's
very impressive head movement there. Look at that from Fawaz. Yeah, hands down, just baiting Amos in, and he makes him miss.
He might be 35 or so, Fawaz, but his reflexes do not look like they're. Well, God knows what he was like at 20.
Remember how old you were?
Mate, I didn't have reflexes like that when I was 12.
Fawaz, I mean, I love watching this, and it's great theatre. He does lose his balance there from a stiff jab. And another big hook lands from Amos, and I wonder whether the showboating might take a bit of a shelf from Fawaz now. Here comes the high guard.
That was 3 or 4 very solid punches from Amos that took Fawaz out of his rhythm for a moment, but he's stepped his game back up again. You do wonder if he's one of those fighters that needs to sort of feel under pressure in order to do his best work, Matt.
Absolutely. I think I do love watching him fight, but I do wonder what the game plan is sometimes. Almost looking like a bit of a Hollywood match sometimes with Fawaz. Drops his hands again, and round
backs away though. That's not going to win him rounds.
Coming into the middle rounds now of this English Super Welterweight title eliminator, Bilal Fawaz, who looked like he was going to be in the ascendancy there in that round 3, then staggered and lost his footing, shipped a few good punches from Ryan Amos, and that will have given the Midland fighter a really positive sense of confidence coming into this round 4, Adam.
Yeah, I think Fawaz is kind of making of his own downfall, like enemy of himself sometimes, because he's so talented and you could see the confidence, but then that confidence just leads to ever so slight errors that at this level you're going to get punished for, and Ryan Amos has been doing that, and for me he's winning this fight, even though Fawaz in moments, in spells, looks, you know, mesmerisingly. Why is he doing that?
It is a little bit perplexing watching Fawaz. Just does things you don't expect, and almost things
lining that right hand up right now. Look.
But any boxing, as you said, Adam, he had Amos cornered there and just backed away and let him come into the centre of the ring. I couldn't see a reason why, but higher minds than mine.
He was carrying that right so low and so thing, it was almost telegraphed.
I don't know if I've seen the man blink yet, Adam. He's just so unerringly focused.
Good right hand to the body, though, there from Bilal Fawaz.
I mean,
Ryan Amos, he's been caught a few times, but he just doesn't move when he is. And Fawaz, when he was caught in that last round, he was backing off. He lost his footing, and his footing's been exceptional.
Looks like he's almost wanting to land just one big punch. Not trying to land big combinations. Land some nice shots to the body there.
Good
and
right
again, he's got Amos backing up.
This is better work from the Londoner.
Just pouring, just touching with that jab, just touching, making Amos cover up, and then hitting him. Oh, a big shot landed there from Amos. We saw the sweat fly.
But best work of the fight so far from Bilal Fawaz.
He's not bothered, is he? Just trying to get his work in. Wonder if his corner have said, you need to get around here.
Dripping with sweat, though, Amos. Really, really starting to show the effect of how much work. I mean, how much. It's like, you know, we've watched a lot of fights, Matt. This looks like one that's so stressful to be in.
It looks like, but it's one of these.
Tense. First bit of showboating from Ryan Amos, and a lovely low hand left hook.
Fawaz just backed away saying, oh, you almost missed that one. But the thing is, Amos just isn't bothered by any of that kind of play acting and just throws another one. A really interesting fight so far. It's very high level stuff, and I don't think either fighter can really let their guard down for a moment.
No, and it looks, as well, as we've seen so far, it's not like one of those fights where they're both throwing pillows at one another.
Not at all.
If one of those lands clean, we're looking at a knockdown at the very least.
You can see them talking to each other. I can see Amos's mouth moving, just saying, what have you got? What have you got for me? Now, as Fawaz offers his chin again, trying to get that screw punch come in through the middle, but Amos doesn't take the bait.
Doesn't shut the ring down as well for me, Amos, as Fawaz, but Fawaz is still landing the better punches.
Round 5 begins. The referee just giving Fawaz a little bit of a warning. Stop the chat, I think was the hand signal that I saw.
Yeah, there's certainly a bit of gamesmanship going on in the ring, isn't there? Kind of baiting one another, taunting one another. Even Amos got involved in a little bit of showboating, or whatever you want to call it.
Big shots being landed by Amos. They're all hitting the arms of Fawaz, but you can see the power in them. And then Fawaz following on with a right hand straight down the pipe.
Yeah, good work, good drop to the body there from Fawaz. Both corners, I was watching them in the break. Both corners incredibly animated as Fawaz comes racing forward and Amos backs off admirably. Now circling the ring clockwise. Fawaz looking to use that clever footwork and that big backhand right, Matt, which he's kept cocked most of the fight, and for me it's not really been too successful with yet.
We haven't seen any huge shots landed on Amos yet, and he's certainly ridden the ones well. I did wonder, Adam, whether Fawaz is just trying to tire his man out and he's going to try and take him in the later rounds, because Amos is certainly, as a sort of that traditional style of fighter, he will be expending energy in there. Oh, good right hand from Fawaz landed there. You can see,
and again he's trying to punch through the guard now of Amos, and he's done it 3 in a row, 4 in a row.
He's just such a powerful man, Bilal Fawaz. Amos on his bike now. As again, you can see Fawaz does this sort of flexing his lat muscles, showing how big and strong he is.
I mean, Fawaz is, again with those reflexes from Bilal Fawaz. I mean, you saying like he's going to take him down the stretch, his plan is to get him out of there late. I think those are really, really dangerous tactics when we're talking about eliminators and stuff like that. You know, at this level, we're not talking about world level 12-round fights.
No, absolutely.
We're talking about fights where it's nip and tuck. Everything is, so subjective. There's not always 3 judges. That was...
What a huge shot that was from Fawaz. We heard that echo around your call.
Trying to tie up there for a second, Ryan Amos.
Another jab. This is a much better round for me from Fawaz. He's used his reach really well.
Yeah,
he's landed good shots. He doesn't go for volume punches, just goes for big eye-catching shots, and it has worked in this round, credit to him. You can see Amos backing away, clearly respects his opponent's power,
doesn't want to drop his guard or let anything through.
I'm enjoying this. This is starting to warm up, and you know, the more success. Obviously, I'm not a supporter of either guys. I like both of them. You know, I just want a good fight, and it's warming up.
I think Fawaz is definitely starting to work through the gears here, Adam. He's landed quite a lot
this is his best round.
Absolutely. I think this is gonna be more of the same these next few rounds, as Amos covers up right above us. Big overhand. Another word from the referee to start round 6. Mouth guard just goes in from Fawaz, bit of an afterthought, but here we go. The second half of this English title eliminator between Bilal Fawaz and Ryan Amos, and it's starting to threaten to break out into a boxing match, Adam.
Starting to break out into more of a fight. It was a boxing match at the start, one that Fawaz was treating as such, but actually I thought the counter shots of Amos and then him putting his foot down at the right time was winning him the early rounds. I think that last one was Fawaz's clearest win of the fight so far.
Yeah,
and he looks very much like a man who's growing in confidence. I know I sort of almost mocked your take on taking him out late, but there's something to be said for that, Matt, because he certainly
good shots there from Amos.
Better as the fight's gone on for us.
Yeah, seems to have grown into it. Amos clearly likes working on the inside. Some good shots landed there as Fawaz complained to the referee.
And his counter work as well, Ryan Amos, is really cute, really clever. Right at the end of that last round, Fawaz looked to have Amos in the corner, was doing what he's doing now, pouring that left out, kind of using it to line him up. And as he went to throw a right to close the round, Amos slipped it and landed a big right of his own. What's that? What's he pointing at?
Referee just points.
Amos pointing at something. Oh, something's just come off one of the fighters. I think it might be a hairband.
A
hairband potentially. They just go to the neutral corners. We go again. But yeah, this is definitely looking better for him. As he's more industrial, he's landing good shots. He's using those big long arms. You can see there that he's got just an inch or two on Amos, and that really is making all the difference with some of these shots from the Midlands fighter that are swinging and missing, like that one. Just pouring with that jab, trying to get this high guard down from Amos as he charges forward again like a bull, trying to get through his man. Good fight,
right to the body, then Fawaz counters with an uppercut down the middle. Amos is...
another big body shot there from Fawaz. That right hand is such a devastating weapon for the London fighter, both upstairs and down. He lands another good body shot, and then he just pity-pats upstairs, trying to sort his way through this guard, and another body shot.
He's using that well, isn't he? Tapping him up top with the jab, then going to the body. Just trying to slow him down, doesn't want him moving around that ring, wants him stuck in one location so he can let that shot variety and power off. Lovely counter left there though from Amos.
We don't have CompuBox, I don't believe, at your call, but if we did, you'd see this is Fawaz's most industrious round so far. He's been throwing a lot to the body and the head. You can see Amos starting to breathe a little bit heavier now. He's not been given any space to move, any space to work by Fawaz in this round. He's just been peppering him upstairs and down, and another body shot there, and upstairs now.
Yeah, this is excellent work from Fawaz. Oh, a lovely left hook from Amos. Plenty of things, but he's trying to tie up, and Fawaz knows it, and he's hunting him down now. I'm pretty sure that left where you just put it on someone's head is illegal, but...
Round 7 of this super welterweight fight, and here we go. It's going to be interesting to see how these men come down the straight. In that last round, we saw Bilal Fawaz.
Oh, that's not a knockdown. No, referee rules it correctly.
Yeah, it was
off balance, wasn't it, Amos?
Definitely was.
He was caught as he went backwards, but he was already on his way down. I don't
saw his foot go from underneath him. But as I was saying, you just saw Bilal Fawaz turn from counter-puncher to aggressor in that last round 6.
And it's been so much better for him.
And it looked like Amos was really struggling to cope with it, didn't have any space, and use it. And because he has the shorter reach and he's the smaller man, he was really struggling to land any shots of real power.
Yeah, I think Fawaz has impressed me in that I was a bit worried he was going to showboat and try and trick his way through rounds, nick them here and there at the end or at the start. It was just like one shots, but he's actually, just as I say that, he showboats again. But you know, certainly the last round he was sticking it on Amos, and it was it was good to see. Certainly from a spectator's perspective, which, let's face it, is what we're all here for, except for the fighters.
Good duck and straight right hand straight to the body there from Fawaz. He's had some good success to the body for the last 2 rounds. You see these whistling left hooks from Amos. They're just not landing. They're just going straight in front of Fawaz's nose, and then he's opening himself up.
And if Fawaz can take the movement away from Amos and then the distance, he's got him.
Absolutely. I'm wondering whether, as we gasped and wondered quite what Fawaz was doing in the early rounds, whether there is method to the madness as we get into the championship side of things here. Still quite even this round though, although Fawaz maybe just trying to nick it with these cute jabs and body shots, not willing to do too much, and then he gets out of that corner really smartly. Amos very much in this fight. For me, he is still arguably winning the fight. He banked those early rounds.
I'd agree with that, but I think Fawaz, if you had to say who's likely to take these later rounds, it's Fawaz. He doesn't look like he's tiring. He's turning the screw ever so slowly, but he's turning it.
Absolutely, I completely agree.
His work rate slightly, and his accuracy and venom, and it's the more sort of targeted attacks, that right to the body under the guard.
Real success.
He's been using that more and more, and that's good. Honestly.
It's almost like magician's sleight of hand he does to try and distract his opponent. Amos really industrious in this round.
Looks so focused though, Amos, still, doesn't he?
Ships a big uppercut there from Fawaz as he comes in.
Hasn't really landed a huge amount of note this round. I wonder whether Fawaz is just nicking it. It is very close though, and good as they exchange right hooks there.
10 seconds to go.
A big punch could swing this round. As Fawaz backs his man to the corner, just pity patting
at the end of these last 3 rounds. Nice right hand.
Here we go, round 8 of this contest. An enthralling matchup, it has to be said, between BILAL FAWAZ and Ryan Amos, both area champions at various points in their career as they look to secure a shot for the English Super Welter title. Amos certainly looked the more successful fighter in the early few rounds, but BILAL FAWAZ has grown into this fight with his intriguing style. So this mix of ultra-orthodox and sort of Cuban flair, and as we were talking between rounds on him, if we were to bank on a fighter to take it down the straight, it would be Fawaz.
Like a bullet in a China shot there, Amos.
Big right hand there from Fawaz. It was cute, wasn't it?
That left-right was so tight. That was excellent work.
Again,
that right to the body that's used so well over the last couple of rounds. BILAL FAWAZ. I mean, neither fighter looks like they're too, desperate. Lovely left hand from Amos.
It really
dipped to his left to try and wing that uppercut in.
Telegraphed it, didn't he? But you're absolutely right. Amos has shown some sort of bull-like aggression at several points. He charges forward. Oh, and a nice, cute. It wasn't really cute at all. It was a bit brutal. Overhand right landed.
Clumsy, but it hit. Not clumsy.
I feel like Fawaz has landed some nice shots, but then Amos comes back in it, and it's quite an even round thus far as they stand motionless in the centre of the ring.
A very even fight.
Another right hand from Fawaz there.
Simultaneous landing there, though. As it was again.
Using that jab, Fawaz, just to maintain the distance, lands another right. Just keeping it in his man's face, blocking his view, keeping his guard up, and another one lands there. And it's just now that with Amos, because he's just at the very edge of his reach, if punches are landing, they're just not quite as powerful as they might be.
Good swiping left hook again from Amos. That's been his best defensive punch for me. Is that
good use of the jab there from Fawaz.
Half step back and a left hook.
That body shot again.
He's been using that well, and it's keeping Fawaz honest, because he knows he can't just get in range and let his hands go too easy, because Amos is not going anywhere.
Absolutely.
He's
not even breathing heavy though, Fawaz, is he? It's just intriguing to watch, because you just think for me he's still arguably behind. I want him to see him win these rounds, and he's still just sort of taking his sweet time about it. Ultimately he run out of time, but that was a good short right hand that landed there, and he's made very good use of his jab as well.
Amos looks ever so slightly like he's pushing his punches out more now, though.
I would agree.
Snapping them.
Oh, a good left hook again lands.
Just as I
the penultimate round of this contest, and everything could still happen. Arguably every single result is still on the table here,
as Bilal Fawaz goes back to work with his short, soft jab, just trying to keep Amos honest as he clubs in with his right hand again. I honestly don't know. I would arguably have Amos ahead by perhaps 1 round, Adam. How would you have it?
To be honest, exactly the same. I mean, I felt like Amos probably took the early rounds. Fawaz looked like he was growing back into it, but then Amos, in that last round, for me, that was one of his better rounds since the first few. I mean, swinging and missing wildly like that is not going to do him any favours on the cards. But, you know, as you said, you know, in the break to me, Matthew, he might not land as many, but when he does land, it's more eye-catching.
Yeah, he's snapping Fawaz's head round. You can see the sweat fly there. Big crunching shots from Ryan Amos as he comes in. But Fawaz still boxing smart, boxing cute. And a big right hand lands there from Amos. Nothing cute about that. I saw the expression on Fawaz's face as he thought, oh, that's woken me up.
Tongue out briefly there, Fawaz. He's certainly not rocked his confidence, but it definitely snapped his head back. That was a big punch. And a lovely left hand. Again, it's that counter left I've told you. And another wonderful right hand from Amos there.
I'm wondering whether Fawaz's legs are starting to perhaps go a little bit. Those were big shots that were landed on him there. 2 or 3 in succession.
Starting to look a bit like a bully again, like he did in the first 2 or 3 rounds, Amos. This is good work from former Midlands champion.
I need to see more of this right hand from Fawaz. He's kept it cocked so long, and when he lands it, it looks great, but he's just not throwing it enough. Another good body shot there from the Londoner, but then Amos comes in again with a big right of his own, forces his man to the ropes.
Punisher pushing him back. Bilal Fawaz tries to land a not really sneaky, but a right uppercut off the ropes. This is side of the referee, but
this is Amos's round for me so far, Adam. It's landed the better shots, landed the bigger shots.
Completely agree. Fawaz has looked way more roughed up in this round than he has done in the whole fight, and that kind of
just not sure if this
range, almost showboating bravado defense. For me, he's only done that when he's been under pressure.
I'm just not sure it's working. I'm not sure, and it's almost like hypnosis. It only really works if the other guy's taken in, and Amos, it doesn't really have any time for it at all.
That left hook,
wailing in here.
That left hand for Amos is, for me, is just the punch of the fight. Bilal Fawaz, when he puts a straight right left down the middle, it's a beautiful little combo, but it's not doing the damage that left hook is doing.
Bilal Fawaz kisses his right hand there, but again, Amos just isn't interested. This is his round so far for me, as he comes forward again. Fawaz tries to tie him up, but it's not working. 10 seconds to go in the round. A big punch could perhaps decide it, but this is Amos's round for me so far. And again, forces Bilal onto the ropes.
With 3 minutes to go of this, Matthew, Steve Goodwin's comment before the fight about he's had well-respected judges say they fancy Amos for this one. So far they're looking to be right, aren't they, surely?
Oh, he's lands another big right hand. Fawaz has ridden these shots well, but they look like they're shaking him to his absolute boots. This is the final round. For me, Fawaz needs a stoppage here.
He's got it all to do. He's got it absolutely all to do.
It looked like...
Although I think the only thing going for Fawaz at the moment, apart from his like super silky style, which for me isn't winning him the fight, is the fact that he's got a bevy of fans here.
I mean, he looks like he could go another 10 rounds. He's sort of running up and down on the spot at the start of the round.
What's the point in being the richest man in the graveyard?
Yeah, well, absolutely. And the thing is, like, as you see with lots of fighters, if they sometimes leave it too much to do too late, and he's going to have to go for it here. But Amos is not a shrinking violet, and he did
a good right hand. Why did
a big right hand
take his eyes off him then? Because he had him hurt. Amos staggered back as he's staggering back now, and Fawaz tries to unload on the rope.
And this looks like Fawaz is going for a stoppage here. Just as I was confidently saying Amos is going to look at this, it looks like he's going to go, and his hands are down. He's staggering all over the shot. Fawaz senses blood here. He senses like he could get his man out of there.
This is incredible.
The referee having a very close look. Amos holding on for his life here, trying to just see his way to the end of the round because he's surely ahead on points. Fawaz trying to get out there, and the referee just stops him. You've got to have a minute, and here we go again. Amos beckons his man in, but it looks like another big shot could potentially be devastating here. Fawaz, my man, you don't have time to stand in the ring motionless here. You've got to go for it.
Completely agree. Completely agree. He's shown in flashes through this 10 rounds that he's capable of this, Fawaz. And I feel like he's only got himself to...
And a big punch
punch lands there. As he ducked down, he shipped one Fawaz, and he's just taken another one. His gum shield almost comes out.
All hell has broken loose in this final round.
It looked like for 1 second Amos was going to get the stoppage. Then we had this weird interim period, and now Amos has landed huge shots himself. Sorry, it looked like Fawaz was going to get the stoppage, excuse me. And now the action begins again. Fawaz landed a really nice uppercut there.
Why couldn't they do these 4 rounds and go?
Exactly, another big right hands landed from Fawaz there. And another one, but Amos still walking his man down. Either puncher looks like they could take it here. Huge shots landed by both men, Adam.
This is incredible stuff. I mean, Fawaz, as he has the whole fight, is occasionally making Amos look clumsy. But when Amos lands, he lands, and you can see, as you say, it shakes Fawaz to his hands, to his boots. He's got a good game face, Fawaz, but
Fawaz, this is intriguing.
Apart from the few moments where he's let Flores go, we've got a couple of seconds left. Matt, who's winning this?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a draw. For me, Amos has taken it. I said Fawaz needed the stoppage, and he didn't get it.
English Super